Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be reviewing WWE Monday Night Raw 25th of May 2020. We kick off the show with a Memorial Day video package, which was very nice and patriotic. Then we swiftly go to Kevin Owens in the ring for the KO show, and the set is still made up because Natalya hasn't come out. He welcomes everyone from NXT who are acting as the crowd tonight. Good idea, wonder where they got that from. And says they are the future of NXT, especially the ones wearing Kevin Owens t-shirts. He mentions he'll be having a match against Angel Gaza tonight, but he is here to discuss the triple threat match to determine who will face Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship at Backlash. He brings out Asuka. She's just chanting Becky. He points out. He mentions that she's not just the man, she's the mum. Shirts available at www.shop.com. He then congratulates Asuka for becoming the champion. And then he asks her about what happened during her celebration. She talks about what happened and Kevin agrees. Charlotte then makes his way out. Kevin said he did not invite her. Charlotte is dressed for action. She makes her way to the ring. She said she needs to get this off the chest. The Raw Women's Championship should have been handed to her. Does she have to remind you of what happens every time you face me? You have never beaten me. Natalya makes her way to the ring. Kevin points out there's no chairs or signs to throw around because of last week. She said, I'm not here to cause trouble. I want to apologise for my temper tantrum. She said, I've just been so frustrating. Charlotte's like, stop sucking up to Kevin Owens. It won't help you win the match. Kevin's like, it's not sucking up. It's a nice gesture. Charlotte says she should have told Natty that she's irrelevant. Nia Jax makes her way to the ring. Kevin leaves the ring for her safety. Nia tells Asuka to remember what she did to Christ saying because that is a fraction of what I will do to you when I pulled over you at Backlash. Kevin tells Asuka not to hit Nia in the face, so Asuka hits Nia in the face. Big brawl. Overall, it was an entertaining opening segment. 6.5 out of 10. It got the point it needed to make. We then have Apollo Crews in the back with Caleb Braxton. He's asked about if he's mentally ready to face Andrade for the US title. He says tonight is the greatest night of his career because he will go out there and beat Andrade and become the new United States champion. That match happened straight after, and you know what? The freaking guy did it. Standing shooting star press for the 3 count. Get in there. Apollo Crews is your brand new United States champion. Get in there, Apollo Crews. You are my guy. Match is going to get a 3 out of 5. After the match, Apollo is asked about winning the title. He says people told him he couldn't do it and they laughed in his face. 11 years of sacrifice and hard work and even discipline. He said he's won his first title in WWE. He knows what people were thinking when his body gave out against Andrade. He blew his chances. He said he never gave up, and now he can say to the whole world that he is the new US champion. We see Andrade throwing a tantrum and destroying equipment backstage. Gonna give that a little bit of 7 out of 10. Very, very nice. We see Seth holding Ray's mask. Seth says tonight is a night for celebration. He is here and he is better than he has ever been. That's thanks to one man, Rey Mysterio. Some weeks back, after Money in the Bank, he was in a dark place. Rey Mysterio presented him at a time of need. Ray sacrificed himself for the greater good. You cannot imagine the pain that Ray went through when his eyes pressed against those steps. He cannot imagine how to think but it must have hurt his family for Dominic to be at home unable to help his father. Seth says he does know what is in store for Ray, but if it was his last act as a WWE superstar, it was courageous and led us into a new era. And then he introduces his newest disciple, Austin Theory. They understand what it's like to be underutilized and underappreciated. Under his guidelines, their ceiling is unlimited. Murphy says he needed guiding and a leader after obstacle. He needed the Monday Night Messiah to lead him to the future. Theory says he thought he had friends when he came to Raw. When they abandoned him, the Monday Night Messiah found him. Seth said both men are welcome. Later tonight, they get to show Rey Mysterio first-hand goodness he brought to Raw. He'll make an example of Gilberto Calorio and Aleister Black and show what happens when you stand in the way of the Monday Night Messiah. 7 out of 10. Pretty much a good promo from Seth Rollins, I like how he's now got Austin Theory. Kind of didn't really fit in with the group of Selena Vega, in my opinion, so very nice. We're back with Charlie Caruso with Charlotte Flair, asked about being a double champion means for her legacy. She said she's the most prolific women's champion. She said she raised the bar for everyone in the division and no one else compares. Asuka swans into the interview with a title belt and says, "Red is not your colour." 6 out of 10. It wasn't overall that bad, to be honest. I did enjoy that. Moving on to the Iconics in the ring. Peyton apologises to Billy for costing them an opportunity. Billy says, "I have to apologise for slapping you. We don't want any animosity between us." They have come so far together. They agree with each other. They grew up together. They signed their contracts together. They won the tag titles at WrestleMania. They never had their chance. They should still be the tag champions. Billy said, "Over her dead body will a crazy lady and an office favourite blonde hold the titles over them." Of course the tag champions come out. Alexa says, "They have had every opportunity and you blew it." Nikki said, "You had your chance." Billy cuts it off and says, "Stand there and look grateful." Nikki said, "Every step that Alexa has taken, she has taken the same step. She left Glasgow with nothing in her pockets and she came to WWE. She said she had to scratch and claw and scrape for everything." Then Lexi came along and they were there for her while Nikki was a little outcast and everyone laughed at. "You don't want to talk about your friendship," Nikki said, "the champions," because Lexi stopped her from bouncing off the walls and lets her focus. The Iconics attack at Nikki and Alexa, and they hold the title belts over Nikki and Alexa after the big brawl. Gonna give it 7 out of 10. Overall, it's moving the story along very nicely. Then we go to MVP in the back checking on his phone. Lana shows up and says, "Is there some?" He's like, "What can I help you with?" She said, "We need to talk," and MVP says no and walks away. 8 out of 10, very funny. I enjoyed that. We have a graphic in memory of Shad Gaspard. May you rest in peace, you absolute hero. Then we have the MVP Lounge. She said the MVP Lounge might not only be the only nightclub in town open for long, but it will be the only one to host the current WWE champion, or as he calls it, soon to be former WWE champion McIntyre. McIntyre makes his way down to the ring. Shows when you have a talking segment, you don't dress to fight. He knocks over all the futons in the ring. He says, "Where's Bobby Lashley? Is he under the ring or in the back?" MVP says Bobby's not going to do that because no contract, no contest. MVP says that he will save the full Nelson for Backlash. MVP asked Drew if he remembers the last time he was in the VIP lounge when he offered his services to lead Drew to the top. He tried to be a friend, but you gave him a claymore. After finding himself on his back, he had two thoughts. One, Drew McIntyre is definitely going to be WWE champion, and he's going to lose that championship, and I will have a role in it. It took Lashley 13 years, and he will finally have a title match because of him. Drew said, 13 years, whoop-de-doo. It took me 19 years for my first opportunity, and I was in the main event of WrestleMania and beat Brock Lesnar in 5 minutes. I don't think Lashley will be that lucky. Drew says some things he said that night apply to MVP and Lashley. He doesn't need anyone thinking for him. He doesn't need anyone talking for him. He doesn't want anyone like MVP kissing his ass. Lashley said one thing last week was true. The only way Lashley is going to take this title is prying it from my cold, dead hands. MVP said that can be arranged. Matt Lashley's music plays. He comes down dressed to fight. Drew with a claymore to MVP, and Lashley pulls MVP out of the ring. MVP keeps Lashley away from Drew. Overall, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. That was an absolutely fantastic segment. I really did enjoy it. Then Natalya says, then we go to the back with Natalya. She said she has to take care of a call with her husband. She explains to him why she did what she did and then hangs up on him. And then Charlie says we're out of time. 2 out of 10, I have no idea what the hell that was meant to be. We then go to Kevin Owens versus Angel Gaza. Gaza clips Owens on the ramp as he makes his way to the ring. Angel Gaza with the ring clipper for the win after we go into the match. Gaza kicks Owens in the legs as he leaves. I'm not going to give the match a rating, it wasn't much, but a very good thing for Angel Gaza. Then we go to the Street Profits versus Viking Raiders on the golf course. The Viking Raiders bring a cooler of turkey legs, but they're told no food allowed on the course. Eric hits into the group ahead of them and they are kicked off the course. Then they go to Angel Golf Course. Then we have the whole repeat of last week where someone tries to kick him off and they says, I've always cute. Then the Viking Raiders think they won because they have 141 and the Street Profits have 28. Then Ivar pulls a variety of things out of the hole, including a turkey leg, loads of other things, which is very random. And then they want to fight with a gator. Overall, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. It was vaguely entertaining, to be honest. Then Bobby Lashley and MVP walk in the back. Lana offers MVP a pack of ice. She said, Drew's such a monster for kicking you in the face. She cannot believe what he did that for. She said that she's so sorry. MVP asked Lana if she thinks this is a joke like everything else. MVP needs to send a message back to Drew right now. And they walk away. Lana screams and throws a bag of ice to the floor. 6 out of 10, entertaining enough. We have the Aleister Black versus Humberto match. Sorry, Aleister Black and Humberto versus Buddy Murphy and Austin Theory. Murphy hits Colorio and Theory hits the LTA for the 3 count. They win the match. Going to give the match a 2.75 out of 5. After the match, Theory and Buddy Murphy grab Black, send him over the ringside barrier into the timekeeper's area. Seth tells them to send Colorio to the floor because he needs to learn. Seth tells Black not to take another step or the kid will lose an eye. Seth says you want to fight for Ray, but he was a sacrifice for the greater good. He tells Black and Colorio to back off. Seth tells Black and Colorio not to make him sacrifice them the way he sacrificed Ray, and they leave. Going to give that whole ending segment an 8 out of 10. Very, very good. We then go to Edge in the hallway. He tells Randy a few weeks ago on Raw, you had me tongue-tied. Maybe it was basking in the glory of WrestleMania. You laid the bait and I bit. Now I found myself down to my abilities to be fully transparent. Can I hang? I was retired for 3,212 days. In that time, you competed in 1,126 matches. I did the research. Now I'm looking at it, I realise that I have to prove myself to myself. Randy, I want to thank you. You made me contemplate things that I haven't contemplated or buried deeply. I went home and watched the first installment of The Last Ride. He saw himself profanating about when to hang up the boots. Edge said he was retired at that time. Now here I am. Dead man, I get it. Do you want to doubt my irascibility? I have had my own against The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Davey Boy Smith, Owen Hart, many more. I pulled people up to my level. I taught guys how to get to the next level because that was my job and I was damn good at it. Edge says he was 5-tool workhorse for this company. He said everything he has said was in the past tense. I don't know if I can do any of those things anymore. At Backlash, I'm going to dig to the very depths of my soul and try. That's all a man can do. Overall, going to give that a 8.5 out of 10. Very, very good. We then go to the Street Profits and Viking Raiders in the back. Ford lets the Viking Raiders choose the next game. They pick Gator Wrestling and Dawkins says no. Then they choose bowling. 4 out of 10, just kind of a throwaway thing. MVP and Bobby Lashley stop by and MVP says Street Profits are acting like clowns. MVP says they're done with them. Ford and Dawkins ask MVP how his face is doing. Then they suggest a tag team match. MVP tells them to bring the smoke. Throwaway segment again. Then we move on to the women's triple threat match Winner, Nia Jax with a Samoan drop on Natalya. Going to give the match a 2.75 out of 5. Overall, it was not bad. Then Kayla Braxton stops Drew McIntyre, and Drew says he was on his way out of the building. Drew said he did not plan on claiming MVP, but he was asking for it. Kayla asked Drew if he knew about the tag match involving Bobby Lashley. Drew said he forgot something in the locker room and he probably won't find it until Lashley's match is over. Nice. We then see R-Truth saying now he knows that the 24/7 champion is not Tom Brady, it's Rob Gronkowski. He said, don't hate on Tom Brady because it hurts to lose a title, especially to a fan. He will take care of any football player to win the title. Then Rob Gronkowski said he appreciates R-Truth's declaration that he will win the title. He wants to give him all the facts. Gronkowski says, you have a lot of memories of champions. 16 years in football and 4 brothers made it really easy to be ready for any fight. He will see R-Truth coming because he has eyes in the back of his head. Going to give it a 6 out of 10. That was not bad. We then see Ric Flair on video and he says he has participated in more great wrestling matches than anyone who has walked the aisles. WWE reached out to him and asked what the outcome of what people are saying in the greatest wrestling match of all time. He said since he retired, the greatest ring performer is Randy Orton. He will beat Edge at Backlash. Don't know why we needed that, but yeah, sound. Then Liv Morgan said it might surprise you, her biggest stumble block was her own self-worth. She never felt good growing up. She always wondered what life had for her. Will she hit the sun or crash and burn? She found what she was missing when WWE and got her first gear with her name on it. Life keeps changing all the questions, and she knows that she's alive and she'll feel who she has always destined to be. She's living her best life. 3 out of 10. I'm just not clicking with that. We then have the tag match for the main event. Winner. Apparently Dawkins and Ford by disqualification because Bobby Lashley applies the Funhausen while not being the legal man and never let go of it. After the match, I'm going to give the match a 2.75 out of 5. Drew McIntyre makes his way down. Big brawl between him and Lashley. NXT talents keep coming in like 2 or 3 at a time. Keep getting taken out. Eventually, loads more NXT people come in and hold them back. Big brawl, I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. Very, very good. Overall, Raw was a pretty good show. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And a fairly decent show. Anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please smash that like button, share and subscribe, and I shall catch you all later. Bye.